Heyo folks, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going through the Moronicdoorcraft characters, the lore characters, their designs, their lives, and what is going to happen to them, and what has happened to them. I'm not going to leak any major lore, but if you don't want to be spoiled towards the storyline, then I guess spoilers ahead, because I'm going to talk about stuff that's already happened, and possibly some future stuff that's going to happen. And if you don't even give a fuck, well, anyways, you're about to see the sped up drawing process for all the Moronicdoorcraft characters while I put some commentary over it. I just thought it'd be fun to share their designs on YouTube because I post them on Instagram and Twitter, but I also don't have the biggest following on either of those. So, I might as well post them on YouTube where I actually have a decent amount of subscribers. Not a lot, but, you know, it makes me happy, so. But thanks for staying by this intro segment. If you end up enjoying the video, I would appreciate if you like and maybe even subscribe. You know, it's completely free, and I mean, it doesn't really help me out because I don't get paid yet, but it does make me happy. And you know, I mean, it doesn't benefit you in any way, but
Alright, so starting off with my design, of course, because, you know, I'm kind of the owner of the server. I originally had this design where I was holding the axe. It was really weird looking, and, you know, I don't know. I you know, even out of the Nike shoes, of course, you know, got to flex that. It also had a backpack, which my current design does not have, but I thought it was a fun little detail to add. After, like, 30 years of waiting here, it's not much I can say, because not much is happening. I eventually come back to the drawings. I do the lives on the bottom. I fucking do other things, you know, there they are. And then eventually scrap that whole design. Started work on a new one, where I'm still holding the axe, but in a different position. It's also an iron axe this time. And I also do not have the bag this time, but, you know, who cares? I think it's a good design. Makes sense for my character. And then we got the god of the sky himself, Skyzzxo's drawing. I gave him a trident, you know, his furry ears, because we all know Skyzzxo's a furry. And I actually fucked up a lot with this drawing. I originally was giving him hoodie strings, and forgetting that he has an overcoat, not just a hoodie. And then I also made his pants a light gray when his pants are actually completely black. So I actually messed up a couple times with this design. I think I also changed it at some point, but that trident is also extremely thick. So yeah, that's a bit of an issue here. I'd also say the ears aren't the best that they could have been. Like that was the end of the ears. Also, I just pronounced Ben B, turning into ISO speed here. Give him his cape, give him his tail. You know, the partial shading. It's not really, you know, real shading. It's just I didn't know what to do. Skyzzxo's missing his life. You know, all that shit. I don't know what happened here, but that happened. Next we have the Furry Foxy, who's gonna be a pretty big player in the lore. Foxy has the berries next to him and all that shit. His design is actually pretty interesting to watch it come to existence, because it looks like it's probably gonna be like one of my worst drawings, when honestly it's one of the best Moronicdoorcraft drawings in my opinion. But I do say that head probably could be better, the shape of it and all that, because it is a little weird looking. But the actual design itself is actually pretty cool. Faxy is a anthropomorphic fox, canonically. That's actually the reason him and Tyler became friends in the lore. They never really clarified that, but Tyler and Faxy became friends because they're both, like, not human, so. But, you know, they got the shading there, you know, yes sir, Mr. Furry Boy. And, yeah, there's Faxy's info, you know, all that shit. Faxy the Furry Boy. Next we have Reddish. There's not a lot to say about her. This speed draw is extremely fast because it's actually a 30-second save. As you can see, I kind of just stopped there, you know. I feel like the video could have been longer, but there's Red's design. There's not a lot to say, except it was originally different. She changed her design, like, right as we were giving her lore, so it was really confusing, but here's Red.
alright, so this is probably gonna be my least favorite drawing of this whole video. LilStoney's drawing, the original one, is so bad. As you can see, I go with this shape and eventually erase it for a lot of, like, a lot chunkier of a body. His body is a big lad. And then I do this weird thing with the fucking actual chest part of it. It looks so weird, and then the hair does not fit at all. I tried to give him a face to cover up with the mask on a different layer. And overall, this drawing just fucking sucks, honestly. But then I'm gonna wait until it actually all goes away. Eventually, I realized that I'm a dumb fuck, and I erased the mask. The least biggest problem of this whole drawing. Then after Stoney lost his first canon life, I redid the whole thing completely. Like, I completely remade his design. I like it. I think this was a solid drawing, this one. Not the other one, but this one. This would not be known by many people, judging by how he's just a black silhouette. But the Watcher is actually the silhouette of Skyzzxo, for reasons I can't really talk about yet, you know, because lore spoiling. But here's Watcher's drawing. It's, you know, just the silhouette of Skyzzxo with my brand, bro. That's my brand, the leaking smile face. This I gave him 5 lives for reasons. Once again, we can't specify yet, but here's Watcher. Next, we got my boy Tyler. So Tyler's design originally, like, I was trying to do as weird things like as I could, like all the weird things I could possibly think of, because alien, you know, that's what I thought of when designing Tyler. Is he's an alien, trying to make him weird looking. I succeeded in that, but not in the way I wanted. This is another one of my personal least favorite drawings, but eventually I come back and edit it. I'm just waiting for the video to show that part. Yes, it's not really doing it, is it? Yeah, okay, there we go. See, there I give him a face to get rid of the yellow goo shit, and then eventually I redesign him, but this isn't for a redesign, this was just for another drawing of his character, which is him right after he crashed his UFO. As you can see, he's all torn up and shit like that. He's got a bandage on his leg, he's missing part of his antenna, he's bleeding, his blood is yellow instead of red. You know, he's pissing all over the place, but yeah, there's Tyler. Next we have Kendall. There's not a lot to say about Kendall besides he's Kendall. His design is, you know, pretty straightforward. It's just an Enderman in a business suit, so I kind of had to change it up a bit. The character. Okay, there we go. There we go. I was waiting for it to actually start drawing the character to mention anything else. Kendall's head, even though, you know, it's Minecraft, so of course it's square. I was going based off an Enderman head, which are square, but you know, I don't know. I don't know what my design idea was. On Snapchat, Kendall is wearing a gray beanie, so I just made his beanie gray. I gave him a beanie in general. He didn't have that on his skin. And I also gave him the purple mask just to be unique, because, like, why not? There's not a lot to say about Kendall besides that. You know, he doesn't really log on a lot, so I don't know. I mean, he has lore soon. He does have lore soon. Planned out. Lore. Okay, there's Kendall, though. Next, we have the first of my school friends that joined the server, which there's going to be a couple more on the server and in the future. Now, this one is weird looking when you're watching it be drawn. Like, I think I should redraw this, honestly, because it is one of my least favorite drawings, probably up there with Stoney and Tyler's original drawing. But Owen is a school friend of mine, and we had a really bad, like, time trying to figure out what his character is going to be. He was gonna just be like a dude, a hunter dude in a hoodie, but then he decided he wants his character to be dead. So Owen's dead. he's a ghost, even though he doesn't look like one. Technically, he should be grayed out more. This is because I drew this before he wanted me to make him a ghost, and I couldn't just like redraw this. So you know, I'll redraw it at some point. Here is Owen's drawing. I originally gave him all of his lives, and then we gave him all the X. Yeah. Alright. So this is the same clip. You might have just heard me try to stop the clip, but it wouldn't. So here's Mike's character. Mike is ginger in real life, and I had to make sure to clarify that in his design. His actual skin is the Ender Dragon, but I couldn't obviously just make Mike the Ender Dragon, so I made him a dude wearing a lot of Ender Dragon stuff, which ties into his lore. Mike and Owen lore is planned. I'm waiting for them to do it, and so yeah. Next we have Armani, and his design, I really had to clarify that he's short.
and he's the punching bag of this whole server. So I had this is entirely based off his real life, like what he looks like in real life, because I couldn't he wouldn't get a skin, so I eventually just gave up waiting for him to make a skin. I went based off his real life appearance. So the hoodie's based on real life, the hair, the band, pretty much everything here is based on what he actually is like in real life. So yeah, Armani lore, that happened a few days ago. And, well, at this point it was like a week or two ago, so it was a bit ago. But then I eventually come back to the actual drawing. I think I was doing shading or something. I don't even know, honestly. Then I give him his lives and all that shit. I wish I could just make him be dead, but he's not. And then eventually I came back to add his robot arm, because he has a robot arm, and yeah, he said that during lore. Anyways, next is Fighter. I once again couldn't end the clip in time because I had to finish saying what I had to say about Armani. But Fighter is interesting. So Fighter, I had to redo his face like 3 times because his eyes and mouth looked weird to me like every time. And Fighter, he's all torn up and shit, and you may be like, well, why is Fighter all torn up and shit? Well, that my goofy little friend is because he's lost the canon life already to a sword in his chest, and we can't confirm exactly why yet. That's to be explained later in lore when Fighter's actually introduced. By the way, Fighter does want to do lore, so he will be in the lore. But for now, y'all get to see torn up Fighter. He'll probably get like a design change where he has normal clothes because reasons I can't say yet. But yeah, here he is now. I eventually came back and gave him a fishing rod too, so yeah. Next, we're gonna do these two in one clip as well. Is actually the 2 newest members of Moronicdoorcraft. At the time of recording and editing, they aren't even on the server yet. Here is Carter. He has a weird design, so I eventually erased it and came back to make a new design. I like this one a lot more, even though I still don't like it that much. I do think this one's better than the other drawing I did. So Carter does plan on being in lore, so he'll have some storyline stuff, but I don't know yet. And next we have Blaze, who is weird in my opinion. At the time of recording, I was trying to add them yesterday, but they wouldn't join. Well, they wouldn't answer me, so yeah. Here's Blaze. I forgot to make an outro, so I'm just gonna say bye here. Bye, folks. Have a good day.